Are you thinking about your real estate career, the pros and cons of real estate, and probate listing? That's what we're talking about today. Let's get started right after this. Hi, I'm Kim Ward, real estate broker in San Diego, California, and certified probate real estate advisor. I developed ProbateBiz.com for you. So let's talk about real estate career, the pros and cons of real estate, and probate listing. Since 2004, I have been successful helping executors, administrators, and trustees sometimes with properties in probate or a trust. And this has been a consistent, predictable business. People need this type of help all the time. Even in 2008, 2009, I was able to pay my bills, feed my family, and even fund my 401k retirement plan. But what I want to talk about today is that things don't always go smoothly. It is hard work. Sometimes I bump into a client that I thought was the right person for me to help, and maybe they're a little challenging. And here's the good news. Dealing with challenging people has helped me to learn valuable lessons. Now, during my initial consultation, I am vetting that person as much as they're vetting me, and sometimes I make a mistake, and I get that challenging person that I need to help for the next few months. There are occasions when I discover that the executor or administrator is very emotionally attached to the home. Now that's understandable, and I do approach every initial consultation, meeting with the client the first time, as the fact that they might be emotionally attached to the property. It's understanding. It's someone that has been their loved one's home. What I'm talking about are situations where it's difficult to help the person get past that and be able to work together towards a successful sale of the home. A year ago, I was helping Jerry with his son's home. His son was in his 50s and his death was unexpected. It was an accident that happened at work. Now, Jerry and I established a relationship right away, and I was helping him to deal with the personal property and get the house prepared, getting it cleaned, things like that. Where I ran into a difficult problem was the price. We started at a price that we both agreed upon, but then the market told us that that wasn't a price that the market was willing to pay. And Jerry and I worked together for months and months. Every time I spoke with him, I asked him to adjust his price. Long story short, after Jerry and I parted ways, he hired someone else who sold the property for the price that I had recommended was market value. And these things happened. I learned to be a little bit more diligent about pricing and really vetting out the person as to how flexible they would be when the market tells them the property's not worth what they think it is worth. And you know, that's always a tough one, to bring people to the realization, even by showing them the facts, that I am the expert, I know what the market wants to pay, and it won't pay more for a property just because there's a new stove. So I have two more cons before we get to the pros. When the beneficiary is a single beneficiary, I really don't like to hear, "I'm not in any hurry to sell." That means to me that they don't want to let go of the property. Now, it's understandable if someone doesn't want to take the first offer that comes, but when somebody keeps repeating, "I'm in no hurry to sell," that is not what I want to hear. So when that situation comes up, I keep trying to guide the person to what needs to happen in order to sell the property in the current marketplace. Now, sometimes that works. They look at the facts and they learn to trust me and they go forward. And then there's times where they just really don't want to sell. They're just thinking they want to sell. So in those circumstances, I pretty much knew up front that I might have some difficulty, and what I've learned is to listen to my gut. If someone says I'm in no hurry to sell, there's more conversation before I choose to team up with them. Another difficult situation that I had last year was a family member actually living in the property. Sometimes that's okay, but much of the time it's not. In this particular case, a sister was living in the property. There were multiple beneficiaries, and she was literally living on a chase lounge in one of the bedrooms. That's what she slept on. And it made showings difficult. It made preparing the property difficult. It was just a rough situation to have this person basically camped out in a property that was on the market. As difficult as it was, because the sister was living in there, the actual client that I was working with also had a pie-in-the-sky idea of what the property was worth, and we eventually also parted ways. Once again, she hired someone else and they sold for a price less than what I was hoping to sell the property for. So now we've talked about the cons. Let's get to the positive parts. So I did my best with both of these clients, treating them with respect while I tried to figure out what it was that they needed in order to move forward on selling the property. Now I also need to treat my time, my skill, my knowledge with respect also. So that's why we parted ways. So what I have learned is sometimes I just need to give people what they want. In Jerry's case, he had this billboard on the property and he wanted me to put a sign up there. Maybe that would have helped to move things along, but I didn't catch on to that until it was too late. And with the other property, with the sister living in it, I believe she wanted it professionally staged because that's what the other agent came in and did. So what I've learned is give people what they want until it stops working and then move on quickly. Now, the other thing is, because I have an abundance of clients, I can let go of the ones that it's just not working for me and for them. So let's start talking about the pros. So why do I do this? Why have I established such a secure business helping people with probate? Because it's a predictable, consistent business model that's very rewarding when I'm working with the right clients. Since I've started really drilling down into my probate business, I help a minimum of 20 people a year, and it's consistently been somewhere between 30 and 35 people every year. That's a great business model. And I also get to work mostly normal business hours. Rarely do I work weekends, and I tell my clients, I just met with someone today, a potential client, I let her know that I work 9 to 5, and after that I go home and be Dave's wife. So the way that I can work normal business hours is because I have a consistent business model. I do it consistently. Every client gets the same experience. I don't forget about things. I don't leave out certain tasks that needs done. I have checklists, and it's easy. When I have a system that tells me what to do next and what to do next and when to call the person and, putting things together in a very simple manner that can be followed. And it's all in the training at ProbateBiz.com. So this is what I know. I learned how to do probate. I integrated it, and now I'm able to teach it to you and make your life simple and productive and profitable. I hope you found this of value. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and to be notified of my weekly videos, just hit that bell button. And I love to see your comments. If you have questions, post those below. I'll be sure to answer them, and I'll see you next week.